looking for something and
Yay,
I apologize.
hi guys, it's our birthday, our anniversary.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Okay.
Party. That's right. It's 1 year.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Virgin Authors. We are three friends bonded by our love of writing, struggling to navigate the publishing world. And look at all the help that we've had along the way. Check out our amazing guests tonight. Hi, everyone.
Hey, happy anniversary effort. Yay.
I hope you'll love our birthday celebration. Virgin Authors is 1 year old. Tonight, we have friends joining us to celebrate. We have former guests. We have future guests. We have people who have supported us in many other ways. And we have our special guest for the evening, Tess Thompson. Tess is a USA Today Bestselling award-winning author of contemporary and historical romantic women's fiction. I'm so excited about our birthday. I'm sorry. I'm going to blow out my candle.
I know, I blew mine out. Here, I'll do it with 1, 2, 3.
And wait. As soon as we're done with the birthday wishes, then we'll get going with Tess. Okay, ready?
Wait.
Many
what's your birthday
more.
wish?
Happy birthday, Virgin Authors.
Yay!
Right. Happy birthday.
Okay. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I know it's not birthday, it's an anniversary. We're not sure. But since, some of us like to go backwards in age. So 1 year old is much better than my actual age.
That's right. Well, we just want to introduce a couple of our guests. We just asked them to join us and come say hi and help us celebrate. So we want to thank Tess for coming on. We're going to chat tonight about writing a series. So thank you for coming, Tess.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm going to jump in and talk about Sabrina York real quick. She was our she was on our third episode. And we're so thankful that she was willing to support us really early. And she's been generous and kind and just so loving. And the crown I'm wearing tonight for my royal hotness is donated by her. And we're gonna raffle this off, and we're gonna raffle off her newest book that is not even out yet. And so thank you, Sabrina, so much for coming on to say hi with us.
Happy anniversary. She's not wearing a tiara. I don't get it. We are all out.
You know what? These things are really not comfortable. I'm taking mine off, but yeah,
I'm gonna wear it to bed. Are you kidding me? I'm kind of into the whole look. So yeah, and then we've got Stacy. Oh my God, Stacy. Stacy's got a new TV show out now that I've oops, my thing just fell there. But Stacy wrote Empty Cupboards. So we all have that. She actually I got her autograph, which is good because now that she's a TV star. Stacy, what number? God, you were number. I have number. What number was
4.
she? I
Stacy was number 4.
Yeah. Stacy talked to us about queries. You can find all these shows on our website or on Facebook. You can just scroll down, but on our website, we have a section that has all the shows and yeah, queries. It was really interesting. And then do you want to go on, Liz?
Jerry Russell is number 15. And Jerry has been so amazingly generous with us also with her time. And I think, Jerry, you're so generous with all writers. It's really inspirational to watch the way you uplift people.
Yeah.
From the beginning, when we first started the show, Mandy Lisa was like, I gotta get Jerry. Jerry was like, your mentor, I think, and a help. So and I really was thrilled meeting you. You're amazing. Okay, what did Jerry help us with? Jerry, connecting to your reader. Very good on that one. That was a good show. You guys have to click onto these because Jerry has a .net, jerryrussell.net, which for her website, she's talking about getting all that going. But yeah, you gave us a whole bunch of hints because I'm in that mode right now trying to get the social media going, and it was so thank you. That was really helpful. I have all these notes from that show.
Welcome, Jerry. Thank you so much for coming. Jerry has been a mentor to me since the day at a conference when we were standing in a coffee line, and I just turned around and started chatting with her and said, I need a mentor. Are you available? And she's just been so lovely and kind and overly generous with her time. And for you to come on again just to chat with us, we're so happy. And she's, we tried to twist her arm, and she said she'd be willing to come on and do a series with us and share with readers. And so, you know, for those who are new to our show, we're trying to build community, and just from having guests and interviewing them, it's just been growing and growing. And people in this community are so generous with their time and their gifts. So we're so thankful. And I want to tell
It also helps.
Sorry.
you are a powerhouse.
You're talking about mentors. I need to give a shout out to Deb Engel, who
Sorry.
has been absolutely above and beyond for me in so many ways. And
All of us.
Deb hasn't, we haven't even scheduled her to come on the show yet. And I don't want to put you on the spot, Deb. You don't have to say yes while we're on
But
the
go ahead,
air,
I'm
but-
recording it. Did you say yes? Say yeah.
Yeah.
We got it committed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Story
Yeah.
Summit is incredible. So if anybody, any in the writer community, it just is such a strong group. And Debbie is a huge part of that. She's like the top echelon there. I got to sit next to her on an airplane. So
We had such a
we've
good
also
time.
got our Nancy Nagel. Number 13, you talked about life balance, which this lady, oh, it was a fun interview. You're right. We were talking, this is her book. Everybody's got everything, but we've got books. Mine are all up in my house. I'm out in the office and I'm not going through the snow for the rest of them, but for some reason I have yours out here too, Nancy. But yeah, it was such a fun interview, guys, such a story, and how to balance your life, because you're trying to write, you're trying to right, Nance? I mean, ugh.
Trying to be all things to everybody, right?
Right.
It's
And
a
Nancy
struggle.
has so many books, and she has Hallmark movies, and she's just has a wonderful career, and yet she is willing to email and to share information and to come on our show and promote us on social media. And it was just so much fun chatting with you, and I love any Southern accent, so I just love listening to you.
She was a
Well-
big powerhouse executive, weren't you, Nancy, ahead of time? Before
I-
you became I was trying to
Yeah,
remember.
I was a senior vice president with Bank of America. I had a 20-year career there before I became a writer. I never even knew I wanted that career, but here I am.
That's awesome.
Well,
And
we were
before-
thrilled. And then I'm so sorry, really quick, Mandy. We have Ann, well, I call her Ann Keen, but Ann is on, and Ann is a writer of nonfiction. So she's going to be on one of our future shows, and she's going to share.
Why?
I met them in Katie Russell Newland. because she has like 3 different names. Katie Russell Newland, she should be here. But they're going to write nonfiction. Anne wrote The Cloudbuster 9. It's an amazing thing, and you guys have to read about it. It's the untold story of Ted Williams and the baseball team that helped win World War II. So it's amazing. You just have to pick it up. So Anne, thank you. I know you can't. It's a great picture. So
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. We're having a huge lightning storm here in Austin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of hanging out on the phone, but I'm really honored, and y'all are great. You are the funnest people in Kauai.
and
Love
more
having
beautiful,
dinner.
right? The most beautiful too. Did you?
Oh, the most beautiful. Yes. Absolutely.
The
yeah.
smartest. We're the smartest
Smart,
people.
The funniest, smartest. But we had dinner at that pizza restaurant. That was so
Yeah.
fun. And I've just learned to play pickleball. Katie Russell taught me to play pickleball.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie's written a book on, it's such a beautiful book. You've got to check her website out, Katie Russell Newland. And she wrote a beautiful book that tied in, is it softball or baseball with her mother? I can't remember. Oh,
I think it's softball.
I think it's softball, but it's
Mhm.
such a beautiful story. And so she's going on to write pickleball, which, who doesn't play pickleball?
I still play tennis. I'm not to pickleball yet.
Anyway, so thank you guys. We're going to have some more people possibly popping on, and we lost our Ann, but Ann, thanks for popping on if you're still there somewhere.
Okay. And I want to
And,
say thank you to some of our online friends. We have Daphne Drake that's on, my niece, Heather Paradise. Hi.
Yay.
We have Janet Oakley. I met Janet in Whidbey Island this year with our other friend, Kim Hornsby. Christina Angel Boyd, she's been really regular joining us on our lives. So thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
you're having great. Thank you, Christine. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I'm like, God, you're on better than I am. So thank you.
Yeah, this is
Um,
so much fun.
thank you for watching that, because I can't get them. So thanks, because every time I get on and Sarah comments, and so if you're watching us, make a comment so that we know, and we really, really appreciate it. But all of our writing groups, we've all reached out for our writing groups. And so whoever's there, we can't thank you enough, because that's what this is about as a community. I keep saying we're a water cooler for writers, but Mandy and Lissa haven't caught on to that, because in the office, you need a water cooler to go and release some tension and to get support. So that's what we're about. So anyway, we've got to start. Oh, go ahead.
So, and for our, just since it's our anniversary / birthday crown day, whatever we're doing, just a couple stats. So in this last year, we have had 18 shows with 18 guests, and we are already booked through September, which would include another 9 shows with 10 more guests. So we're doing a couple a month. And we partnered with that new publishing house, Zibby Books, to interview all of their authors. So that's a huge coup and fun for us.
They're releasing a book a month. They've got the first 18 all lined up already. So I think we're up to number 3 or 4 coming up soon.
Yeah.
She started her own publishing company. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh.
I'm excited. I have this The Audrey Hepburn Estate by Brenda Janowitz. It's not yet out. And I am so excited because she's coming on our show in a couple months. I forget when. But to be able to have a platform like this where we can just call people and ask them and say, I love your books. I'm a fan. Would you come on our show? And they're like, here, let's talk to my marketing person or my publicist or myself. It's always like, ooh, like I'm official. I get to talk to your marketing person or your publicist. And so this has been really fun. And I'm enjoying getting, those books and reading all of our favorite authors and learning new ones. So that's been a real joy for me.
All of us, we're just honored, and we'll probably be wearing tiaras from here on because we're getting so big for our own britches, really. But so now we've got our Tess, and Tess, thank you. Tess is a virgin. You haven't been on the show yet, so
it's one of the last things I'm a virgin about.
I keep making them up, Tess.
I just real quick want to say to everyone of the rest of you who are here, you do not feel obligated to stay on the video with us through the rest of the show. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. But we're not going to feel bad if you blink out as we start chatting with Tess.
Absolutely.
And Jerry, really quick too, Jerry was talking, and I don't know if she wanted to say something. I think it's hard with all the different people and stuff, but okay, we kind of lost but yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge it because I think I might have interrupted her or somebody, but Jerry.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys, thank you for being here.
Yes, absolutely. So Tess, let's jump on. We wanted to chat with you about writing series. And so we looked, when I was looking at your website, it looked like under series, it looked like you had almost 10 different series. Tell us about your career and your writing. Tell us about the different series. And then, our focus here is on the virgin author. If you have some great tips for other authors to plan out a series, promote a series, let us hear your expertise.
Really fun.
All right. Well, I don't know if I have 10, but that seems like a lot. And I'm like, no wonder I'm tired. So when I started out in 2011, I've been around forever. I, wrote one book and didn't realize, number one, that it was a romance, and number two, that it would be something that could turn into a series. I was so dumb and new and everything. But anyway, and so for a while I kind of worked on a couple different series and put one or two books in each series out a year. And then I decided that I wanted to really try to tackle just getting readers hooked into one series and giving them the books, fairly rapidly. So that was in 2018. I started my Cliffside Bay series. There's 14 books, 10 full length, 4 novellas. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like 2 years of my life. It was just Cliffside Bay, and one after, just from one story to the other. And I had it planned out for the first 5 books. And the premise is 5 best guy friends and sort of their small town and the women they fall in love with. And so it's kind of family saga, romance, that kind of thing. And so when I was done with that, I was like,
Wait, I'm
oh,
sorry, can you back
yeah.
up one sec?
Yeah.
So you
How many?
planned out the first 5 as a series. So then what happened? Like, did they just become like almost standalones that tied in, or is it actually a series? Like, and how do you make the overall arc work if you didn't know they were going to be there?
Yeah, well, so I had planned on the first 5, and I did have an arc, you know, because I had not done that before with series. I was like, oh yeah, okay, this character is interesting. Let's make that book 3. This was all planned out. But then they started doing so well that I was like, I think I could create another 5 main characters. You know, a sister and brother of one of the main characters from the first 5, you know, so it all kind of just was, I was able to sort of do sort of 2 arcs, like 5 and 5, with novellas in between. I've got stories with their parents falling in love. I mean, it's like this small town saga that I had to quit it because there was no way I was going to be able to keep up with all the details. It's like after a while, you're like, wait, what was I doing there? So anyway, when I was done with that, I went on to my first historical series, Emerson Pass, and I had some success with the contemporaries, but my first love is historicals. And I'd had this dream about this family, and I'd written it all down in my notebook. And like 2 years later, after Cliffside Bay was finally done, I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself this little gift for Christmas and just write this book that I know only my mother's going to read. Like everybody's always like, there's no money in historical, blah, blah, blah. So I wrote it, and just, you know, it kind of poured out of me or whatever. And it was so immediately obvious that, oh, I have something special. So I went ahead and wrote the rest of them. But what I did is, it's a small town in Colorado, and there's the historical series, and then the contemporaries in the same town are the descendants of the original families. So that's how I was like, if I can sort of trick readers into coming over and reading the historicals, because they're like, oh, I hate historicals. I mean, these are my street team readers. They're like, I never read historicals. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to trick you guys into it. And so that's kind of how Emerson Pass unfolded. Yeah. And it was really fun because I had things set up, you know, from the historicals, and that I knew, okay, I know what the descendants of these people are going to be like, and who falls in love and everything. So I have this big family tree. I still have stuff like
cards,
notes from the, you know, series.
Okay. Yeah. Did you do a whole card, or did you do an actual family tree poster type of thing? Or
I did.
How do you keep it so organized?
Well, because I was trying to do it the right way for once, instead of just thinking, oh, this is a pretty good series, let's do another one, you know. But yeah, there's a website called Family Echo, and it's free, and you can go in there. It's for real people to use to do their family trees, but I used it for my characters. And I have it on my website, you know, so-and-so, you know, had this baby, and then this happened, and, you know, it traces all the way down. So it was really fun, but it was also
fun. Yeah,
it was fun, but it was also hard because I was, yeah.
The thing that's blowing my mind here is, doesn't it take like years of research to write historical fiction? So then how?
I had written 2 standalones that I actually think are some of my best books, and nobody reads them because they're standalones and they're more women's fiction, kind of book clubby type of books. So I'd done a lot of research in kind of from 1910 to 1950. I knew a lot about that era already. So this new series that's coming out this spring is also set in 1910. So I'm kind of sticking in the same time setting, just because, you know, you just develop a lot of knowledge about it over time. And I also have a lot of memories and some letters and journals and stuff from my grandmother. So that was kind of an impetus for some of it too. You know, just stories that she had told me that, you know, had always kind of percolated.
So, I mean, I can't even imagine, because I've tried to write, well, children's series, I kind of do. But the adult, I'm trying to do my second book in one series, and it is, I actually think it's fun. I don't find it that hard. I think Lisa or somebody was talking that it would be tough to, maybe it was you, Mandy, but it would be how it was tough to tie it in and how to bring back the details. And I think it's kind of fun to do it in conversation or something. So there's like little secrets on that, on how you tie in the first book with the second book with the third, and how many, I mean, that one series you said was how many?
14. Yeah. Well, and I mean, two things. One is it really behooves you to plan it out from the beginning, to really kind of think, okay, what is this character arc for all these people that are in community? But also writing them back to back was key, because it's like one long book basically. And I really try both Cliffside Bay and Emerson Pass, they really don't stand alone. I mean, somebody could pick it up and be like, oh yeah, okay, you know, I get what's happening with this love story, but I really did want it to be episodic. I was trying to emulate what I love to watch on Netflix or whatever, you know, these sagas that, you know, feed into each other. So a lot of people told me at the time, don't do it. You have to do standalones. People are never going to, you know, but I was like, okay, if I can get hooked into, you know, This Is Us, for example, other people can too, you know, so.
I've always heard sequels are better, or, you know, books. I've always heard that instead of standalones, that if you have a sequel, maybe I'm wrong, but
well, I think it's harder if you don't have a big name to tie people into, or to say, oh, here's a 10-book series. I've never heard of this author. I'm not, you know, oh, that's too long. Whereas a standalone, they might say, oh, I'll give it a try because it's not a big commitment, you know? Yeah, I think that's
Can I interrupt for 1 second here? Because I see that Amy Ferris has logged on, and I don't know what happened to your audio, Amy. I mean, your video. But,
There's
but
her
thanks
video.
so much for taking the time, because I know it's late there too. Do you have audio?
Oh my God. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Oh my God, you can. I am so happy to be here for you guys. Yay.
You've helped us so much, Amy. Thank you so much for being here. We miss you.
I would go to the wall and back for Lissa. Yes.
Oh,
Oh my God. And Jana and all of you, I am so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
fun. We met Amy in person and Debbie in Kauai too. And so Kauai is a great conference.
And Deb is here.
Yes, Deb is here too. Oh, and here comes our other friend, Deb Mosier's coming on as well.
Oh,
Hey.
you know what? Congratulations for this. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you can see, but you missed our cupcake and cup.
Oh, yes,
donut.
we blew out the candles, but we do still have the cupcakes.
Okay,
But-
but you know how wonderful. This is so wonderful.
Well, thank you
Oh
for
my
being
God.
here, all of you guys. But
You know, Amy is, well, first of all, Amy is a goddess, but besides that, she's just, I think I have taken more inspiration from her in how to just be generous with the whole business of writing, because that's, I mean, Amy is just all about uplifting everyone. And I've been blessed to do 2 in-person conferences with her, and I hope there'll be more in our future.
Absolutely.
yeah, she has a
I
book
wish we
called
could
Mary
see
and
you,
George
Amy.
Clooney. It says her book is a memoir. It's called Mary and George Clooney: Confessions from a Midlife Crisis. So it's great. And Amy teaches the best class. I got to be, I don't know if you remember, Amy, but I was in a class with you and Marta, so we had a blast.
Oh, absolutely. I was so of course I remember. And I'm on my cell phone, which is really kind of a little bit funky, but I'm so glad that I get to see you all. And I am thrilled that I got to be here for you, Lissa, and everybody. Oh my God.
Thank you
Wow.
so
Like our
much.
tiaras, if you can see us. Then.
I see the tiaras. I see the tiaras. And
Well, we're
Mandy,
both-
I love your tiara.
Yeah. Well, that's from
Oh, and
Sabrina.
Sabrina, and oh my God, and
Yes, that's
Tess,
sweet.
and
Well, and we're going to say hi to our other friend, Deb, for jumping on, and then we're going to get back to Tess again. But hi, Deb.
We're eating into Tess. She's a part of our writers group. She's here
Yeah.
for
Anybody who is still here when we get off the live Facebook call, we can chat and visit some more.
That's right. And I want to say, Jerry said hello to all of us again. She had to jump off. She was having, her video was cutting out. Lena Lambert is here virtually again with us. She's been very faithful as well. And my friend Janine. Hi, Janine. I met Janine. I met Janine at a RWA conference way back in the day, at a bar having dinner. Two single ladies having dinner.
Christina Boyd said that she wrote that I've been a fan of Tess Thompson, seems like forever. So
Yes. We're
Seriously, we're
getting
so
old, Christina.
sorry that we're butting into your time, and now we're past the 8:30, but I mean,
That's okay.
8:30 my time, but we have to talk because I was so excited for this one because I really am into series and I love them. I just love building the lives. So please continue, because so she does this whole timeline for those of you that just joined us. And she tries to write them back to back to back, which you're my hero. You don't go off and write different things like I do. You just stick with.
I used to, and I had to rein myself in and write. Just today, I was like, I have this idea for this new series. I'm like, oh, I'm just itching to write that. I'm like, no, you're writing the one that you committed to last year that you were all excited about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
That's
yeah,
a
and I
real-
was going to say, I also am not a plotter. So I wanted to mention that because a lot of people, if they're a pantser, they're like, oh, I couldn't do a series where I plan everything out.
Yeah.
So I don't have every single plot line figured out, but I know my characters and I know my tropes. And so when I decide those and get all that detail nailed down first. And then I can kind of pants it through, if there are, plot ideas that I have later or whatever. Or sometimes what happens with me is if it's a newer character, I don't know them as well as I think I do. And then about a third way through, I was like, oh my God, I know what this is. I know this wound, or I know this whatever. And so that, informs the story as going forward. But that has been kind of the thing for me that I was always trying to figure out, like, well, how do I write faster? Because I'm not a plotter. So I have just accepted this is the way I do it. I do quite a bit of rewriting because I write fast and I change my mind, so all of that can still be done, all that messiness, even in a series that you sort of have the arc planned out.
Okay. Wow. That blows me away that you don't. It does. I think with my character, I do have, okay. And I know it's not about me, but so because mine, when I wrote the first one and I knew it was going to be a series, I started doing it alphabetically thinking, and I'm only on B. But I knew that this one character would tie in and that would be a big surprise. So I had that, but I don't know if it's going to be C, D, or E, or if it'll just be stuck at B. But I did know that. But so I guess that's what you're kind of saying, is you knew your characters really well. And the tropes. Okay.
Do you have a series that is your most favorite, and also a series that's your biggest sellers?
Well, it's funny because I'm working with a business coach and we just did a deep dive into my business. And I would have said that I thought it was my Emerson Pass, which are my historicals. I would have said those are, my best sellers, but they're almost equal. Some have made more money just because they've been out longer. And that was one thing, just a word of advice for anybody who's sort of thinking, well, I kind of want to write something a little different and I don't know if my audience will be there. It's your core story and your themes are all kind of the same, even if the subgenre is a little bit different. So I think, go for it if there's something that you're interested in, even if you think, oh, I don't know. And for me, I wanted to do this historical stuff and I didn't think it would sell. And it's ended up being, kind of a breakout series. And then people go back and buy the backlist or whatever. So I think writing what you're really interested in and what touches you is huge. I just can't emphasize that enough. And I think a lot of times we hear right to market. And instead it's like, well, that might be fine, for somebody else. But for me, this is my story that I want to tell. And I think readers can feel that, when it's something we're excited about and invested in.
Yeah.
Personally, did you, because Deb's with us too, it's actually says Steve, but it's Deb. Colorado. So this next series, or is it the next? No, it's not the next one because I have that one. I have the prequel. But you guys, you have to, I'm trying to keep showing you,
You do have a new series coming out, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
And that is the free prequel. The first book or the first full length comes out on March 23rd. And then I'll be releasing the next one 21 days later and the next one 30 days later. I'm going to see how that goes. Never done that before. So I've been working really hard to try to get a little bit ahead because usually, well, I try to release every other month. But sometimes I'm right up to the deadline. Like, okay, am I going to get this
Wait,
thing?
do you
loaded
have
or
these things banked? How can you possibly, are you writing that fast?
Yes, I write pretty
Gosh.
fast, but I also work a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's been 4 years of like intense work. And every year I say to my family, I'm not gonna work weekends, but then I do because I've set up these pre-orders, so, but I won't be able to have this pace probably forever, but for right now it's working fine and I love it. And I've been doing this since 2011. Making no money for years and years. And it's like finally and it's that consistent releasing that I think has made the difference for me and hooking people in on a series, and giving a lot of books away for free and that kind of thing. But yeah, for now, this is how I'm rolling. And I write long books. They're like 75 to 85. So it's not like I'm,
Wow.
and the research between the history too. And I'm just going to say, so editing in that time too?
Yeah, so I have an excellent editor. I do not do developmental edits anymore. I stopped doing those after, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years just because I just didn't feel like I was getting that much out of it. And I started getting this thing of like, well, this is not the book they want because it's not the one they wrote. It didn't feel like my book sometimes, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, so I don't have that piece, which used to take, longer, but, I send it off and the line editor sends it back in, 2 weeks. And then I send it off to the proofer and then that's another 2 weeks. And, if you just kind of work back from the schedule, like, okay, I want to release March 23rd. When do I need to get it to the editor? So I do a lot of planning in the beginning of the year to like, okay, and I've got a vacation this week. So how does that play into everything? I really try to be strategic about it. Yeah.
Where you needed to watch our show with Nancy Nagel about balancing your life. I don't know how you're doing that. I couldn't even take care of my dogs with that. That's amazing.
Well, and my kids are, 3 of them are out of the house. I just have my one, she's a junior in high school and she basically takes care of me. And my husband he also has a full-time job, but he does everything around the house, like except for cooking dinner, like literally everything. So I have a lot of help too. And, and we all see it as a family business. And so they're supportive of that.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you this book, and I didn't realize it was a prequel that was free. So thank you. I'm going to read because the characters are so rich. I mean, they're just amazing. So I'm totally into it. And you guys have got to pick it up, the making of the matchmaker. And I guess it's free, you said. I think I was trying to go to the very first one of your most recent one. And I didn't click.
No, that's okay.
I'm definitely buying the next ones. But
well, and I've never done the prequel really before because I used to I was wide until last year. And then KU's been really good. So I'm sticking with that. So I used to always do first in series free. So this is an experiment, doing this. It's a 20K prequel. It sets up the murder mystery and the family dynamics and everything, and this whole matchmaker thing, which I feel like it's a kind of a fun little spin on it. And then each book will have one sibling and their story, but the murder mystery takes 2 books for that to be revealed. But then there's other little plot twists, and I try to with, obviously romance is the main plot, but I have a lot of little mysteries and twists and turns and suspense that I like to kind of throw in just to make it a little more interesting for me, especially to write.
Well, we do have an online question for Tess, but before we get to that, we have to welcome our very, very special friend, my sister from another Mr. Molly. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming
Hi
on.
guys, I'm sorry I was late. I was at another class, but it's so good to see everybody. You all look beautiful.
Hi, she
But-
was on a PNWA class with our friend Damon Swade, and we missed out. So after the live
Yeah.
show, you'll have to stay on for a minute and tell us all about it.
I will.
Yeah.
I have like 9 pages of notes, so we'll just review.
I've taken his workshops before. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
So good, but you're like, holy crap, my brain's not big enough.
I
for
know,
this.
right? Yeah. I have those
Well,
books
and
here.
Malie is in Washington State as well, Tess. So maybe
Oh.
you'll get to meet kind of all of us when we get together the next time.
Well, okay, we're having a
Mandy,
party.
how are we doing on time?
Yes,
are
we're out of time. So let's do this last question with Tess, and then Lisa will kind of conclude us a little
know.
bit.
We're interrupting a whole like book in this like
We
15
are.
minutes for
We
Tess
have
to write a book in the 15 minutes we've gone over already.
We can definitely have Tess back on, maybe when you have another release or something. We'd love to chat more about you when it's
Well,
not our birthday.
Yeah. We
So-
really appreciate your patience, right?
Yes. Daphne Drake said 2 things. She said she loves your advice about writing what you love. That's the best advice she's ever gotten for writing. And then she said, for your series, Tess, specifically, do your books, are they reliant on each other, or can someone just read them standalone?
Oh, good one. That was a good-
The hope is that you could read one standalone, or, kind of start in the middle of the series and go, oh, this is fun. So I do the best I can to do that, but I think, and I made a decision, about some of these series to do that on purpose. Like I wanted them to really be connected, and for, the characters just to keep building, and they're all in each other's stories, not POVs, but through dialogue. I have a lot of dialogue in my books. So,
Yeah, I love that.
I just think it's fun that's kind of stuff I like to read. Like I just get so invested in these, families and these characters and stuff. So you can read them standalone. I think they're better read in order, but.
Because you get to know the characters and love the characters, and you have things you expect from the characters. So I recommended a book to my daughter one time. I told her it was so fabulous, and she read it. She's like, "Ma, it did nothing for me." And I thought, you know what? It's like in the middle, and she doesn't know these people. Why would she care
Right.
about
Mhm.
Right.
them? But yeah, I get
sense.
that.
Yeah, and with the school mistress, and I know it's probably time to go, but it's set in 1910, and she meets a widower with 5 kids. And so each subsequent story is the original children. So they're like, 5 and 3 and 8 or whatever in the first book. And so by the time the series is done, it's 1945. Like it was, that was kind of crazy. I know, like a little daunting, but I knew what they were like as little kids. So I knew their story. Like I knew exactly, okay, I know the type of person they need. So that part, again, it's more fun as a reader to know them as kids and then get to read their story when they're adult.
I mean, you're creating a massive worlds, not just with one series, but with, it's just like
Multiple.
raising all these kids. And do you
Well-
take it off of your own kids? Because I do with mine.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
back when
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think too, like my other advice, I think for, anybody just kind of starting out is figure out kind of what you're good at, like what your sweet spot is, and world building is one of mine. Like I dig it. I like the small town thing. I grew up in a small town, so I think that too was something where I said, I'm going to lean into that, because not everybody can build worlds, but that's something I'm good at, and other things, I'm not many things.
Well, we've talked about that on here, because when you get all the rejection letters, they tell you discover quickly like what you are good at, because they tell you if it stood out, or if that's something, you're really great at dialogue, or I loved your characters, right? So you kind of hear those themes early on to know which things I'm good at and which things we need to develop. So
Yeah.
that's a great tip. Mhm.
All right. Well, listen, we have got to wrap it up here. Tess, thank you so much. And it was really, really good of you to put up with all our.
Yes, this is very unusual, Tess. And we're very patient. Like,
We'll do it in person at my house, either this
Yay!
summer or for the holidays. We're having a party.
Yes, I'm
You know,
there.
Malie is just starting a series. So Malie, you'll have to go back and listen to this whole recording and get some of Tess's
Emily writes
advice.
historical too. Yeah. So yeah. So
Yes. And we do recommend all of our guests have been so fantastic and given such wonderful advice to us. And so if you are new logging in and listening to Virgin Authors, go ahead and check out the whole library of shows we've had.
We have a library of shows.
Yay.
Got it when we started out.
Sorry, that's horn. Don't go to the dollar store.
So
Okay.
Tess has her next release coming out in, gosh, like a week. Is that right,
Yeah,
Tess?
March 23rd. Yeah. And free prequel. If you want to try to see if the series for you, it's part mystery, part romance, part family saga set in 1910 on the San Juan Islands. And I stole Orcas Island. I call it Whale Island just because if I get some details wrong, I don't want to hear from people.
I know, that's why I was like, I thought it was more Ireland, or I didn't know where I was, because I read it like a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, it's excellent, you guys, rich. We also wanted to thank all the amazing authors who have committed to help the Virgin Authors. Some of you are here. Debbie, thanks for popping back on, and everybody, you guys, just being in classes, even if you haven't been with us, being in our writers groups. We have Debbie Moser here with that. And I mean, it's just been a huge gift, and we're so grateful. And we wouldn't have made it a month, let alone a year, if we didn't have all of your support. So thank you. And for spreading the word, because that's what this is all about too, is helping us spread the word. So thanks you guys so much.
And we just want to give a little bit of shout out, to Story Summit. Many of us have met each other here. Rebecca Bloom, the Story Sherpa, was our very first guest. And I met Rebecca at the same time, I think, as I met Stacy through Story Summit. PNWA has been a huge association for us. We've all, I met Malie there, and then we met Jana and Lissa and I met in person, all of us, for the first time at PNWA, even though we met virtually through there. So all the groups that we're in and the clubs and associations that we're in, we've just been building our community and meeting friends. And Deb is in our regular writing group that we just get together a couple times a week and just do shut up and write. So before I close this out, I want to also just say thank you to Jackie Vaughn and my friend Jennifer Poteet. We've had lots of friends joining us online. A lot of our past guests that weren't able to join us tonight still wished us well, and we're really excited and thankful for the connections that everyone has so generously supported us this year. You can find the Virgin Authors on Facebook live on the third Thursday of every month, and our special episodes with Zibby Books, the new publishing house, for all their authors this year. And we want to just thank you for tuning in and joining our celebration. Any last words before we head out for the night?
So grateful for Tess, for your patience on this test. This is
Oh,
not
no
our normal
problem. It's
show.
fun.
But we're so glad
I
you-
love a party. So, it's always good with me.
Oh, good.
And Jennifer and
Thank
Stacey,
you all.
thanks for sticking around all the way through the end. That was really nice.
Thank you, Stacey.
Oh, of course.
Of
course.
we were going to do a giveaway really quick too.
I already did. I already gave it away on
wow.
Facebook. Yes.
Did you
Yes,
just
my niece Heather Paradise guessed what show Sabrina was on, so she is getting this lovely crown and
Sabrina, thank you for
and
donating
this
that.
lovely book that's not out yet from Sabrina. And
I wanted to give away a book too.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, I've got lots of paperbacks, so I would love to give one away.
Oh, I would love that. Thank
Maybe
you
we
so
should
much.
do a follow-up thing online.
Are we
you know,
giving
with-
books away? Because I can give away copies of this as well.
We would
Really-
love that.
I want to be
Thank
the
you.
winner.
Oh, thanks, you guys. Okay, well, we'll try to do contests, some type of giveaway online. Can we do that, you guys? We'll figure out some. There's some.
Yeah,
rules
we'll
on
figure it
how to do
out
that.
and get back to you all.
Tess
Thank
and
you.
Stacey, you guys, and really for our crowns for getting us going on all this.
Thank you so much,
Good
everyone.
night,
Thanks for
everybody.
joining us.
All right, thanks, you guys.
Thanks again. Good to see everybody. All right.
1 second.